Hello, today I'm going to show you how I grow Bulbophyllum Fletcherianum. I've had this plant for several years. You can see in my other videos its progression of how well it's grown. The growing temperature ranges from 60 degrees F in the winter to over 100 degrees in the summer. It gets pretty hot in the greenhouse. I got the plant from Windy Hill Gardens, who still has divisions of this same plant. If you get it, it's not going to be that big, but you have to grow it out so it gets to where it is today. The plant doesn't like to be mounted. I grow it in a pot. The plant becomes really happy when it grows outside of the pot and the leaves start drooping down to the ground. The pot itself has been modified with more drain holes, and it's filled with about 1/2 packing peanuts and the other half sphagnum moss. I do repot this plant once every 2 years from the top. I try my best to get all the sphagnum moss out, flush it really well, and repack it with new sphagnum moss. This is where I got the pot. It's pretty basic, but it does pretty good with hanging plants that are a little bit heavier. The plant is watered daily with fertilized water and pH adjusted, so it's pretty neutral. It's well soaked, as well as all the companion plants around it. The ticking sound you're hearing is the fertilizer injector injecting the fertilizer and the pH adjuster into the water prior to watering. Here you can see how well the drain holes are working to get rid of the water in the pot. You can see in the bottom left-hand corner of the screen my hydrofogger going off. Anytime the humidity drops below 70%, the hydrofogger goes on. Here you can see more modifications to the bottom of the pot to try to get more drainage to get through it. And also you can see the packing peanuts that are there. The other thing to note are all the new growths that are on the plant. I fully expect these smaller growths to die, which is the normal routines that I've seen of this plant. It takes a couple of tries before one of these big bulbs actually produces a new leaf. Some things you can see here too are some of the companion plants that grow with this bulbophyllum. What you're seeing is a vanilla vine that's growing across it that grows very happily and well as Phalaenopsis gigantea that's right next to it, as well as other bulbophyllums. You can see also a couple of vandas peeking through. Basically, the plant likes it hot and likes high humidity, high temperatures, and is not happy when it goes low. Here's a better view of the hydrofogger at work. It's fed with RO water so it doesn't stain any of the plants. but it does a pretty good job in trying to maintain humidity while the swamp cooler is going off. This is the sun-facing side of the plant. It's under 40% aluminate shade cloth, and it gets a lot of sun on this side. The plant actually made its own shade by putting these larger leaves in front that almost become sacrificial leaves, and the leaves behind grow bigger and bigger because they're shaded a little bit. If you give this plant a lot of sun, the leaves become smaller and thinner. If you give the plant shade, then the leaves get longer and wider. So it's really up to you how you want to grow it. Here you have a good view of what else is growing along with the plant. I have Sophronitis sereniu growing at the top of the plant, as well as Vandas growing towards the other end of the greenhouse. This side does get a lot of light and a lot of heat. Here's another view of the sunnier side of the plant. The leaves are just not as big on this side, and they seem to struggle on this side. But like I said, they give the plant some good shade. This is the beginning of the development of the flower spike on the big bulbs that are hanging down. Here's the side view as it's starting to elongate. And finally, it's in full bloom with a spike that's maybe about a foot and a half long, with multitudes of flowers growing on it. Same flower presentation. It basically smells like a dead rat in the greenhouse, but it's quite spectacular. I've never had the spike look like this before, and I think that's because it is hanging down. I did cut the spike off the plant once the flowers started to wither. Here you can see just how big that spike really was. Thanks again for watching how to grow Bulbophyllum Fletcherianum. If you have any questions, please put it in the comment section and I'll try my best to get to answering all of them. And once again, I will see you on the next one. Thanks. Bye.